So here we are, and we are in a couple of wars here. One of these wars we can exit anytime we want. That is the war against these guys here. And we do want to exit that war soon. We've got what we want up here for now. I wouldn't mind grabbing these 3 systems. We will need to explore those. That is absolutely going to need to be a thing. And I'm really confused about why chat is broken right now. Yeah, I don't know. Chat is just broken. Maybe YouTube is busted. Actually, I wonder if it's because... There we go. This might fix it. But I doubt it. Yeah, it doesn't fix it. Chat is just broken today, I guess. So here we are. I will try to read out all of the chat so that people that are watching the VODs won't miss out on that. 1 versus 3. Yes, that is what our second war down over here is. So we've got the Silicon Savants. They are the war leaders. They declared. They've also got the Zum Cooperative, who are coming in through the wormhole in this system, and the Valon regime. So we are getting ready to deal with those. We have this fleet on the way over to attack the Valon. We have a fleet over here, which is comprised entirely of menacing corvettes, or a single menacing corvette right now. But that fleet is going to work on dealing with Mihil over here. So that's an 8K fleet coming from the Zum. I'm not sure. Let's see here. This is going to be what? A size 80 fleet in theory. So what's 52 times 80? Let me pull up a calculator here. 52 times 80. That is 4,160. So that is not going to be capable of dealing with this fleet on its own. Okay, good to know. This fleet is on its way down to deal with the Silicon, and this fleet will be freed up fairly soon and will make its way down here, but it will take it a very long time to get there. We haven't had a chance to build our hyperspace yet, but I do want to buy in 10,000 minerals here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to build mining stations in VMOS. Second thing we're going to do is hit the reinforce fleet button over here. And yes, it's going to be a lot. It is absolutely going to be a lot. I really am wondering why chat is busted. I set this up the same way I always do. I guess we can try just removing the URL and completely redoing it. But I don't think this is going to fix it. I think we're just going to have to accept. Nope, it's working now. Okay. Sure. Now it's working. Well, that's cool. Let me just spam some things to get the chat better. Perfect. Just to get that gray box out of there. Maybe. You can definitely see the, wow, better is not coming in. There we go. That took a bit. One more. Cool. There. Perfect. So that is all according to plan. You can definitely see the delay there. That's kind of a YouTube thing. Perfect. We've got chat going. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, we are going to start to work on these actual wars. So we need our exploration ship to make its way out over here. That absolutely needs to happen. We need to get these charted. Yes, we're not surprised that they're going to be attacking over here with this Starfleet. There's also a wormhole that connects down over here. That's not a big threat to us right now, although that may become a threat later on. So it's going to take us time to respond to these threats. That's for sure. But this Starfleet is going to continue to be reinforced slowly over time. Yes, they have attacked Jasque Format with a 12K fleet. That is unsurprising. We're going to get this fleet reinforced once we can, but we kind of can't right now. Okay. We're also coming in over this way to land on Oblion. So for the time being, this is going to be awkward. This is a 12K fleet here. This is an 8K fleet here. So we're going to need to send these guys down over towards Lake Sassara. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to want to have those at, but something along the lines of that. This fleet is going to come down here to try to wipe out the Silicon Savants, but we can't actually access this territory over here. That's going to be complicated for us. But they kind of can't access from that either. So we can take Araya and Nugan over here, and that's kind of about it there. Yeah, they can use CBs against us. That's fine. They're not going to. The Pomplace is being reinforced, and we can go ahead and continue to reinforce that. That'll be okay. Oh, we're on normal speed. No wonder things are feeling really, really slow. Let's bump that up. There are empires that are preparing to declare on us. That is the Mandate of Joinum. Where is the Mandate of Joinum at? That's these guys. They're pathetic to us. Okay. I mean, they might be trying to do, like, death from 1,000 cuts. We'll see if they actually declare or when they actually declare. Okay. We're going to head in over here very soon. So they're in Pala Orlin, and they're going to destroy this station. They're going to attack Kraxima here pretty soon. We are attempting to get additional fleet strength in here. This is now at full strength, so that's fine. We are wildly over our naval cap, but that's okay for right now. We are okay with that. We can just pump out these ships. And I would like to get Kraxima to have more shipyards, but for now, this is okay. Science ship, it has evaded up over here. Yes, that is to be expected. We're going to go to passive, I think. Let's see. We're going to... If we do this, we're probably going to aggro that station. So we're going to need to come up over this way and explore like that. And then I think we're not going to be able to really push out too much further there. So yeah, this is definitely an awkward situation that we find ourselves in immediately. But we should, in theory, well, we might be able to defend Kraxima. Now, these guys are attacking in Kraxima. That's a little rude, to be sure. We're just not in position for this war. We'll get there soon. But enjoying the KSP content recently, also like the Jade Empire playthrough. Nice little niche corner of gaming YouTube. Jade Empire was a long time ago. Okay. Well, yeah, thanks for that. I enjoyed playing through Jade Empire as well. That's a underrated game, in my opinion. So we're going to definitely take some big hits here. But that's okay. Remember, all of these ships we make with minerals. Not with anything else. We can back off on our mineral sales, and we absolutely should at this point. Like, 0.73, or actually 0.39 is what we're selling these for. We were at 570. What is that actually at? 570 times 0.39. This is 222.3 energy credits per month. So we can't back all the way off, but we can sit it maybe here. We can also back off a little bit on our food buy order. Like that. Okay. So we don't care that we're going to end up losing these fleets, right? That's all okay. And the reason that that's okay is because they pay alloys. We do not. These ships are all made not with alloys. So that's completely okay. Yes, they're going to do damage. They're going to eliminate a lot of these ships. That's fine. Okay. Yes, we already know that we are taking some hits over here. This was always going to happen. We just need to make our way through these areas. We are missing an offspring on Nutka's nest, and we definitely need to put in an offspring nest there. We finished up attacking Oblion, and we're going to head up to Devasa next. So we are going to head up here, and we are going to land on Stellar Brood Nest. Perfect. We need to get out of this war, but I absolutely want to have Devasa first. These over here would all be nice to haves. They aren't strictly speaking necessary. But we need to free up this fleet. That is vitally important to us. Now, we can keep reinforcing the Schmortis Starfleet, but we actually can't. Okay. I guess that's fine for now. And yeah, we're going to take hits over here. This is absolutely going to be the case until we manage to respond to some of this. The Zum are the ones really pushing out over here, and that's to be expected. However, the Valon are currently a little bit trapped here. They can come back up over this direction and attack this way, but they can't push past Pala Orlin until they attack here. So that buys us some time to get one of our fleets down there, and that fleet is, of course, this one. Getting around is the biggest problem for us right now, and I'd love to get those hyper relays set up. We need some time at peace for that to happen. So we'll see when that ends up occurring. We keep getting declared on because, you know, we're very threatening, as you'd expect. They actually already have an army there, and they're going to attack in Pala Orlin very soon. That's in Aluma. 276. 159? They may not actually be able to do that until this army arrives. But that's going to arrive fairly soon. So they're going to push past Pala Orlin. And this is honestly to be expected. I'm not very surprised by any of this. I would like to get this capital starport upgraded. And did we get completely wiped out here? Yes, we did. Okay, so we're going to need to, of course, modify our fleets a bit here. Oh, this is all very awkward. I'm not sure where all these fleets are currently headed. What do we got? Oh, they're all still missing. Cool. 3 years left until fleet is stuck behind Fallen Empire. Yes. Generator World job open. I'm not actually too concerned about the Generator World jobs right now. But we should go through these and get those done, since there is an unemployment here. We are lacking in amenities here, and I wouldn't mind getting maintenance drone jobs. We'll go ahead and do that. I think that'll be okay. So yeah, that's a good call out there. But yeah, we're going to have 3 years left until this is done. So we have to be out of this war and out of here before then. That is definitely true. We cannot access this Shroud Tunnel. But we are making our way down over this way. We're getting closer. Yeah, they're going to invade Pala Orlin. That's always going to be the case. We need to move this fleet down. And, I mean, they're at 14k. This is a 15k fleet here. We can always grab ourselves some edicts to bump up our performance temporarily. So that is something that we can definitely do. Now, this construction ship isn't really tremendously useful at this moment, but that's okay. The science ship is taking a very long time to get out here. We successfully fended off the invaders on Aluma. Oh, they didn't bring in this force. They weakened us, but we're replenishing. We could put in a general here, just to make this that much more powerful. Technology. So we may be able to hold that. That would be huge if we could. Advanced combat roles finish up, and we are going to grab... Honestly, a lot of these are good. I think we got to go for advanced research complexes, though. We got to get caught up and push ahead in tech. That's going to be very important for us. And I also want to hop into our ship designer here and give ourselves advanced roles. We're going to stick with the same combat computer type. We're just going to upgrade it. So destroyers will go to picket. Cruisers will be at line range. There we go. And menacing corvettes are already at picket. They're on auto upgrade. We'll get rid of that. Cool. We've got the menacing corvettes. We've got the... Yeah, this is changing the order as we save it, which is awkward, but sure. So this would be picket range, and this would be line range. Cool. Can we upgrade armor yet? No, we still only have armor level 3. That is unfortunate. I would have really liked to have more armor by now. So we'll see if we manage to hold off these guys again. It looks like they're currently not even trying to attack, which is great because our armies are replenishing. Cool. So that's fantastic. We're negative in food right now, and that's to be expected in this scenario, honestly. I think that's okay. But this agri-world has an open job, and we absolutely need to put in an agriculture district here. We're negative on amenities, but it is what it is for right now. Okay. That's another transport fleet on the way. Okay, sounds good. We're going to arrive in Pala Orlin eventually with this fleet here. This is not our top tier fleet, to be clear. Now, this is upgrading to a Starhold, and I would like to grab all of these missing fleets. Where are they at? Okay. They're a little bit split. So for now, we're going to group these guys together. We want to grab all of these. There we go. We're going to group those together, and we're going to group these together as well. So let's have all of these guys chilling down over here. We'll enter orbit. Okay. So we have a number of these still coming back. Citadel upgrade has finished up, and flat cannons would be okay. Do we know much about these guys' ship designs? No, we don't have enough intel on them or them. Okay. These guys over here are not really doing anything. I suspect once we take this, it'll be fine. I am going to recruit a few armies over here, just so we can invade on Araya and 112. Okay. Just so we can invade on Araya and Nugan. 56. That should be fine. Okay. Now, this is a bigger concern right now, obviously. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to merge all of these guys together. We are waiting for some of our fleets to come back here. I use the term fleet loosely here. We're going to merge all of these guys together for now. So that's 30 menacing corvettes. Cool. We absolutely need to get some offspring class in this. And what do we have right now? We're actually maxed on offspring. So that's a problem for us. That's a big problem. We're going to move up over... Actually, yeah, we're going to move up to Avexis here. And we'll enter orbit there. As far as these guys go, I think we're just going to continue having these here. And we're going to use this as, like, replacements for some of these fleets here. I think that's what we're going to do there. So as far as the Pompolis goes, we need a little bit of reinforcement there. We'll get that done. We need to deal with our offspring class and get those sorted out. That is absolutely a top priority. We're going to move down this way. Have you played the game Star Sector? If you like the idea of morally ambiguous space conquest in a post-apocalyptic sector of space, it'd be right up your alley. I've not tried Star Sector. Let me just look at that quick on Steam here. I might wishlist it. Let's see here. Star Sector. Maybe there's a space. Yeah, maybe. Star Sector? No, I'm not finding it on Steam here. Well, I'll look it up after the stream, maybe. That does sound interesting. So we're going to get these grouped on together. The Pompolis is still chilling up here. We're still making our way with the fleet to Devasa. We absolutely do need to get some peace here so that we can build some networks. That would be nice. I would also really like to get access to gateways. Or figure out how to use this Shroud Tunnel, which I don't think we're ever going to really be able to do. But for now, they seem to be perfectly content to chill over here. It's not on Steam, free to play. Okay, I'll look into that after the stream. Cool. Thanks for the suggestion. So at this point, we are a little bit concerned. But honestly, things seem to be going okay. I'm a little concerned about our food situation. Colony development speed. Ship fire rate, just overall of 5%. Yes, please. That's a big deal. So we'll happily take that. We're going to head in and attack Araya. Once we have this dealt with, this fleet will be free to come up over this way. And once we have this dealt with, this fleet will be free to come this direction. So that's all very big deals. We need a fully crewed science ship here. We don't actually have a scientist here currently. And we can't recruit one? Oh, this is an army. What am I doing? This is the army. I'm a complete and total moron. That's fine. The nation with the 3 cut of systems in the south can't muster a fleet since they don't have a connection. You should focus the 2 others. Yes, that is the plan. We're going to eliminate this for the free war score first and then bring these guys back up. That's what I was talking about a moment ago. But it looks like for right now... Actually, are they invading over here again? So they're probably going to end up actually taking this over. Probably. Maybe. This is eventually going to be lost. Okay, so we lost our science vessel up here in Entropy's Maw. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that right now. What we really need to do is get this invasion of Devasa done. That is the top priority at this moment. This fleet is arriving over here. Pala Oralin is the only connection between here. So yeah. Wait, we succeeded? Oh, they landed again. Okay, we're going to lose this, for sure. We're definitely going to lose that. That's fine for the moment. We're going to land in Devasa and take that, and then we're going to peace out of this war.
A new nest is formed.
Okay, we have a newly formed colony over here that already has an offspring nest. Sounds good. And I'm assuming that they're going to take this any moment now. Yeah, they take it now. Honestly, that held out longer than I thought it would. There is a great con. and it's right on our border. It's these guys. I think. City Modest Horde? Pretty sure. Yes. It's right on our border. Okay. Well, we don't directly have a connection here, so that is good. That is good. Start moving the fleet back through the Fallen Empire. Yeah, that probably should happen now. I just wanted to keep it here to make sure that they didn't move in, but it's probably no longer necessary. So we're going to start heading back and hope that these guys don't close their borders to us again. We've got 2 years. I think we'll make it. I think. I wish it still told you how long it will take them to arrive here. That would be nice information to know. But it doesn't, so we'll move on over. And we'll land on Devasa, and we're just going to piece this out instantly. If we have time, we can grab Entropy's Maw and then go into Dojak like this. If we have time, we'll see. We'll see how long it takes to land on Devasa. So they've left Pala Orlin. We're going to go up over there, and we're going to attack Pala Orlin and get that back. That is of vital importance to us right now. And Saramo United Worlds are planning to declare on us. That's these guys. That would be rude if they did. Everyone would just be piling on at that point. Very rude if so. Very, very rude. But we're going to piece out of this war shortly. And the Stellar Brood Nest will fall very soon. We're making our way back, and we will arrive eventually. We're taking back Pala Orlin right now. And this is a starport, unless they've changed it. Okay. So they are going to attack off over here. That's expected. We take this back. Once we are here, we are going to enter orbit. We're going to allow this to start repairing. They did change this. This was a starport before. That makes me sad. That makes me very sad indeed. We can still repair here. And we can't change it because we don't control Illuma. Okay. So, 14,592. Sure. So, Devasa has fallen. Now we need to go to these guys and status quo. Cool. So, we're no longer at war with these lads. That is perfect. So, Saramo and Mandate. I don't know that they actually will. They're pathetic to us. The Saramo didn't participate last time. We'll see if they actually do this time. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. So we're chilling in Pala Orlin, and I'd like to come down here and attack these guys. This is a much easier fleet for us to eliminate, and we don't want to fight both of these simultaneously. So that war is status quo'd. We don't have anything here for a... where was it? Offspring Nest. There we go. Cool. So we'll do that. We're going to move these guys back eventually. And we have attacked over in Araya. Ooh, 10.7k here. I mean, we're going to get it, but that's going to cost us some. That's okay. That is fine. So for right now, we accept that. Cool. We're going to start probably phasing out using regular Corvettes, at least for the time being. I want to check the stat differential between a menacing and a regular Corvette. So a regular Corvette is 300 hull points plus 255 armor, whereas a menacing Corvette is 350 hull points. Wait a second. These have shields on them. Let's get rid of that. 350 hull points and 258 armor. So yes, we should absolutely phase out using regular Corvettes. Menacing Corvettes are slightly slower, and they have medium disruptors right now. Let's not auto-upgrade this. We'll save that for right now, and we are going to... This is currently a Brawler. I think that we have our current ones as Interceptors. Yes. So we have multiple Menacing Corvette models. Right. We're going to get rid of this one. That does not need to exist. There's an Offspring Corvette. Yes. Okay. So this Menacing Corvette model, 350 hull points, 258 armor. That is tankier than our Corvettes. And it is actually a little faster than our Corvettes with comparable damage. So that is excellent. We're definitely going to phase out making regular corvettes. So these guys are finishing up over here. There we go. And how strong is the Nugan station? 3.6k? Sure. We're going to go grab that right now. Actually, we're going to head over here first, and then we're going to go like that. These fleets here, we have 122 strength here. And what is their strength on conjugate? 112? I think we want a little bit more here. Something like that. Okay. Sounds good. So the Zum, actually, we passed each other in hyperspace, I think. We're going to take this back. That's fine. Build time 30 days instead of 60. Yeah, that's the other good benefit for the menacing corvettes. Build time is 30 days. Regular is 60 days. Also, upkeep is a whole lot cheaper. There's not really a reason to build regular corvettes over Uglalator class corvettes. So what we should do right now is we should go into the Lumelius and we should drop off all of the corvettes here that are existent, if that makes any sense. Like, Offspring is a different scenario. We still want Offspring corvettes, but we've got all of these menacing corvettes here. We've got 30 of them, and ultimately we're going to need to link these up. But I think we can do that right now, actually. Group all of these guys together. They can come up over here. And we can link up these forces. That'll be fine. We're attacking in Araya. This all looks reasonable to me. I'd like to bring this army back. We'll see if we manage to get through here in time. Advanced research complexes are done. We can go for autonomous ship intellects. Is that no longer a dangerous tech? Maybe it's because we are Crisis of Spirit. Huh. I swear that used to be a dangerous tech. But we can definitely do that. We failed to fend off the invaders here. That's fine. We will come back to that. We are yielding territory for right now until such a time as we are ready. So we're going to attack over here, and this transport fleet is now at 5 strength. Cool. We don't have an offspring nest here. We already handled that. Okay. Sounds good. So they're bringing in more forces over here. This is now 16,378, but that's actually not really a concern. We're going to head to Upstoth, and all of these guys are going to be grouping up in this region. Okay. So what are we lacking here right now? Well, we've got a bunch of these awkward fleets. I'm going to disband this one, and then there's these 2 fleets here, which are menacing corvette fleets. We're going to want to merge those into our existing 3 fleets. That's the way that's going to want to go. So we're going to get this cleaned up and move these guys back. But for now, this is looking reasonably acceptable. Where did the Zoom fleet go? That's interesting. Their 8K was in Pala Orlin. I'm not sure where they went. I'm sure they're somewhere. The question is where. Your fleets are not going to make it through. That's possible. That is definitely possible. We'll see. It's taking a very long time. That is definitely true. Okay, Polaris was colonized, or not colonized, it was terraformed. We're going to go ahead and colonize it. That is fine.
Our hive is under attack.
So we've got these 2 here, and we're going to need to merge these together in some way. So the way that we're going to have to do that, of course, is by swapping these corvettes over to menacing class corvettes. So we're just going to do something like this, and then we can move 6 in. So we're going to split off. That was just in half. I didn't necessarily want to do that. Merge these back together. Apparently they can't instantly merge. Okay. We're going to merge them back together. It's fine if our fleet doesn't make it back through. We're not actually reliant on the Pompless here. We're doing okay. I'm not concerned. So as far as all this goes, we are going to need to merge these guys together. We'll transfer these off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and merge them in here. There we go. And currently, the first Star Order is making their way over here. I think this is fine. I really, really do. We could use a Fuel Edict. I mean, We've got another, like, year to get here, I think. Yeah, almost a year. I think we're okay, actually. But the fuel edict is not a bad idea. We could use the fuel edict to try to get them through. So that is exotic gases as fuel. That's going to put us negative on our exotic gases for a while, but we can run that deficit for a bit until these guys make their way through. It is a good call. We should do that. But I'm still not too concerned if we don't make it. So I want to, at this point... Let's see. These guys are supposed to merge together. They don't want to merge. Yeah, they don't want to merge. We need... This is the... what fleet is this? This is the Schmortis. So in the Schmortis, we need... Oh, I didn't do it in the Schmortis. The Schmortis is actually full. What am I talking about? Did we already do this? Maybe. I don't know. Regardless. We are going to take the Schmortis Starfleet here, and we're going to take these other guys and group them together. And I want to get the 23rd in here as well. We'll get here as soon as we can. For now, we're going to sit in Upstoth. They cannot come back this way, and this is fine. Yeah, these guys are preparing to declare on us. They likely will eventually. Exotic gas refineries, battleships. We're going to go for battleships at this time. So we're working our way through here. Hopefully we get through in time. We didn't actually attack in Entropy's Maw. That's awkward, but okay, sure. Okay, so at this point, I want these guys to merge together. And then they're going to head... Wait a second. What are they doing? They're heading over here. They're going to invade Nuzakon. Okay. We're going to take all of these up to Kraxima for right now. That's fine. We've finished attacking here, so this fleet is now fully capable of making its way to Kithvalas, and let's remove any corvettes that we can here. We've already done that. So we're just going to reinforce this fleet at this time. That's at full strength. And then we're going to tell it to go upgrade. Wherever its nearest upgrade is, and that's in Atronar. Okay. Sounds good, and then that fleet will start heading up over this way. So the Pompliss is on their way. And they've got about 7 more months to make it through here, in theory. We've got 215 exotic gases currently. They're in Theta Scorpii. Oh yeah, of course they wouldn't have attacked here. We ended this war. Of course they wouldn't have. So we're going to take back Kraxima. That's okay. And at this point, I'd kind of like to split this fleet in half, I think. So... we're going to eliminate this station. I want to get these units all merged together. So we're going to split this fleet in half, like so. And did that split right down the middle? It did. So that is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Next, we're going to split this fleet in half. And then we're going to take the Schmortis here, which that is this guy. And that's what it's set up for right now. We're going to bump this down to 17. And then we're going to bump up our... not our Offspring corvettes. We want to add in the Menacing class corvettes. So 15 of those. Cool. And that is exactly what we have right here. So we take that and move that into the Schmortis. And this will buff these pretty dramatically because they'll have the Offspring ships now. So that's good. We want to do the same thing with the Ralger. And we are going to... actually, this is already the way we want it. Pretty close anyway. And we will add in the Menacing class. We will take that up to 15. And I want to make this be equal with the Schmortis, if at all possible. 2 Offspring corvettes, which we currently have none here. As far as destroyers go, we need 17. And then 2 Offspring class destroyers. And then the Offspring cruiser. This seems fine for now. What are we lacking? We need 17 here, so we put in some additional Menacing corvettes. And then we're lacking something else. Oh, there's a regular cruiser in here as well. Okay, so we add in a regular cruiser. There we go. So we now have these 2 fleets, and they're going to group up. We're going to move these guys together.
Our mining hive is lost.
Oh yeah, that's to be expected. Cool. Ah. The Horde has attacked us down over here. Very rude. Very, very rude. So we're going to have to defeat the Horde too. That's a lot of things. These guys appear to have stopped planning to attack us, though, the other guys. So that's a good sign. We are now in here, so even if they close borders to us before we exit, we will go missing. So that's good. We now have 8 here, which is enough to come in and land on Conjugate. And so we shall. How are we doing on our exotic gases? We're at -2. Okay. For right now, I'm not that concerned about this situation. We will deal with that later. Definitely got a bit of a crisis mode going on here, though. We're going to take these guys up to Quinaga, I think. We should be able to handle this in theory. But no, we're going to go to Craxima instead. Okay, as far as these 2 fleets go, we now have offspring in both of these, I believe. We should double check that. Yeah, we've got offspring here, and we've got... Do we have offspring here? I'm not sure we do. Do we only have the one offspring ship over here? That's an offspring destroyer. Okay, we do have a couple of offspring ships here. So we should move these out. And we are going to come down over this way and move a couple of offspring corvettes out of here. And they move into this fleet. The Schmortis, as far as I'm aware, currently does not have any offspring ships. And that is of vital importance. We need to have offspring ships there. So that's fine. The South Fleet can start moving out. They actually are. They are making their way up to Achenar right now for upgrades. And once they finish that, then they're going to come up over here. And we're going to have to handle all of this. This isn't as scary as I thought it might be. It's a little scary. What a time for the Great Horde to rise up, right? What happens if we... Oh, we can't actually submit to the Great Horde. Okay. And they're just attacking us. We are literally the only people they can attack. They have no borders over here. What luck. Okay. Exciting stuff, that. Exciting stuff. So I think we're going to take these fleets up, and we're going to attack Pala Orlin again. We've got these guys coming along behind. We have made it through over here. So we're going to make our way down this way. We need to keep heading southward here. That is of vital importance. These guys may not make it by. They've got 3 months. We'll see. Sure. There's a lot of hostile swarms. That's unsurprising right now. So these guys are heading into Conjugate, and they will succeed in invading that. We're not going to drop the rare gases just yet. I want to get moving a little bit more. So we're going to keep burning through our stores of exotic gases. We do have a tradition available. Starbase influence cost or pop growth speed. We'll take the pop growth speed, and let's check in on our worlds to see if we can get any jobs going. This generator world has a job available, and considering that our energy credits aren't great, that's great. We're going to get this energy nexus going. This agro world can get a hive nexus. Need a science chip for the Great Khan tech recovery once you kill them. That is absolutely true, and we're not concerned about that at this exact moment. We'll get there. Right now, we need to respond to various things. Various things. So we are attacking Pala Orlin, and that'll be fine. There we go. We've got about 20k here. So we should be able to attack the first star order. And that's a very big deal. We're going to head in and do that. That is great. And this Starfleet has nearly arrived here. So that's fantastic too. We're going to be able to start pushing these guys back. And once these guys are done with their upgrades, which will be soon, they're going to be arriving over here soon. We have successfully invaded Conjugate. That's fantastic. We're going to head over to Nugon, and we will land on Multinomial. There we go. They actually attacked us. Okay, that's foolish on them. We want to lose corvettes right now. Losing corvettes is the goal. So after every battle, we'll take a look at our fleets until our corvettes are all eliminated, other than the offspring corvettes, of course. We do need offspring corvettes still. Okay, so we eliminate their fleet here. Cool. So that's done. We're going to head in over this way and deal with these guys, but we don't actually need to send both fleets after that. We're going to send one fleet up over this way, and the other fleet is going to come down over here. These guys are going to sit in Pala Orolin for right now, and we have additional reinforcements on the way to Pala Orolin. Cool. So let's take a look at our fleets here, and we need to drop off any regular corvettes that we have here and add in menacing corvettes. Okay, so that is all of them. Nope, this is good too. Cool. We'll get that going, and that'll do for now.
Our science hub is lost.
Yep, we're going to be losing stuff for a little bit here. That's to be expected. We do have another fleet over this way. We'll send it in as well. We'll just have it park over here just in case. We're missing an offspring nest here, and we definitely want to put one in. There we go. We get this back, and we'll head to Kalok. At Nusakan, we are going to recruit some armies. There we go. And we will continue to reinforce. We have some fleets that I think aren't able to be reinforced right now because of positioning, but that's fine. Okay, this is now closed, and we were not able to make it through with these armies. That's okay. At this point, I want to drop our edict for exotic gases as fuel. Okay, the Mandate of Joinum did declare on us. That's kind of unsurprising. So that's the Mandate of Joinum and the Saramo United Worlds. Saramo is here. Mandate is here. The Mandate is not powerful at all. They may not even be able to get through this station if we put in a hangar bay gun battery and a target uplink computer here. They may not be able to get through that. So we're missing an offspring nest over here that we're building. Sounds good. Out of curiosity, what was the benefit of spamming chat at the beginning of the stream? That was because there was a big gray box here because I had just redone the chat and I wanted to push the gray box out of the chat box. That was all that was. Okay. So this is kind of dire. I'm not going to lie. But we can send the Lumelius once it's done upgrading, which is almost done. We can send the Lumelius back up here to deal with these guys. So that'll be what we have to do. The Great Khan has seized Beauty. Yep, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. And it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. All this timing, though. The AI is really going after us right now. So we need a offspring nest here. These upgrades are not currently progressing. Oh, it's upgrades down below, isn't it? Down here. Yeah, so we're at 63%. That is progressing. Good. Okay, so these guys, I want all of them to, as soon as we finish taking back Kalok here, I want all of these fleets. We're still in battle? What are we fighting here? Oh, Josk Fomat. Right. That'll be done in a moment. Okay. At this point, I want all of these fleets to make their way to Upstoth. That is incredibly important to us, and we want to reinforce these fleets as much as we can. All 4 of these, we want to make sure that they are at full. The 23rd Starfleet is only menacing class corvettes, which isn't necessarily ideal. Okay. Looks good. Ish. So we're going to head up over here. Actually, they're not moving out of their capital. I don't think we need to handle this. Not right now. I think that they are completely handled by this station. So, with that in mind, we're going to head over to Upstoth with this fleet as well. I do not believe that they are capable of pushing through Coxlight. So that'll be fine. We've already handled that. No problem there. So we need all of these fleets. Actually, let's meet up in Kraxima first. Okay. Now, this fleet here, I would love to put in, some Offspring class destroyers and cruisers. Unfortunately, we can't do that, and we can't put in any corvettes either. We're going to need to deal with our Offspring class ships, but for right now, we need to come in and cut them off at Upstoth. That is of vital importance. We have reinforcements on the way over here. It's going to take them a while to get there. We could try to get a sublight speed. Yes, a sublight speed admiral. And that will speed them up pretty significantly. We're full on influence. That's to be expected. I don't think these are a problem. And historically, these guys didn't actually attack when they were at war with us. However, they're going to. But, oh, there's no connection over here. Sad. I was going to say, if there's a connection over here, they may end up fighting the Great Horde. But they won't. They absolutely won't. Honestly, I'm a little salty about the Great Horde choosing this moment to rise up. Like, come on, guys. I'm a little bit salty about that, but it's okay. I mean, if we end up dying, we end up dying. That's kind of the risk of this type of game. So that's okay. The Twilight Congregation is in Nunkey right now, and we absolutely need to move all of these units into Upstaff. Okay. So we currently have 1 transport fleet here. I was hoping we'd have a little more. We've got this good to go. These guys can start making their way up over this way. It's going to take them a very long time. But we need to get these armies up here fully recruited. Okay. So, I mean, these guys are going to attack. That's fully expected. I'm not surprised that they're actually attacking this time. I'm a little sad, but I'm not surprised. Okay.
Technology conceived.
What tech did we just get? Ship fire rate. Oh yeah, that's great. So next up, I think we will go for fleet command limit. We have to keep pushing on that. That'll be okay. All of these fleets together are reasonably strong. Reasonably. I do want to continue to reinforce our fleets. We are missing the ability to reinforce some of these, and what fleet are we not reinforcing? For 1365 and 2636? It must be offsprings that we're not able to build. We're going to need to figure out how we actually want to divide up our offspring classes. That makes this a little bit awkward, if I'm honest, the way that the offsprings work. We're going to head in over here, and we need these guys to follow up. So we're going to tell this force, just stop moving once you arrive here. Just wait for reinforcements. Okay. There we go. We're pretty negative on energy credits right now. That's unsurprising. We're in some dire straits at the moment. So we're going to fight this Horde army, or rather navy, as soon as we can. Here comes our fleets, finally. Okay. In we go. We need to catch this navy and stop them here. They're going to continue to take territory over this way. There's nothing we can do about that at this moment. But we can stop them at Upstaff, and that is what we shall do. Okay. For the time being, we need to get this army good to go. We'll need to take back up here. So I'm going to send one of our weaker fleets here, and that's, I think, the Schmortis for the time being. Yeah, we're going to take just the Schmortis. And we're going to send them up over this way to go take that natural wormhole. Now, on the other side of that wormhole is this station that we can't really deal with at this exact moment, but I just want to make sure that we get this back in case of a status quo piece up here. Okay. This is definitely a lot of stuff. And we're kind of hemorrhaging right now, but I think we're going to be able to turn this around. I think we're going to be able to stabilize. That's the overall theory anyway. Just checking through all of that. That looks not exactly fine, but it looks as good as it's going to get. Okay. So we're going to attack up over here, and this is all just taking a very long time to get around. Our reinforcement fleet is on its way. It will arrive here eventually. Now, the Saramo are up over this way. Are they going to stop at the Valon? Or are they going to push through? I'm not sure if they were at war previously, so surely they have closed borders, right? I think they have closed borders. So if that's the case, there's only so much that Saramo can get here, and that's not a big deal. Okay. We got the outpost somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where. But that's fine. That was in Keenis? Oh, out over here. Okay, sure. I mean, that's not going to stick around very long. But this is, I think, reasonably fine. I really, really do think that this is fine. So we're going to attack up over here in Mihil. And what do we got here? We've got 122. What do they have defending these? 130? And 0. Okay, so while we're waiting for these to build, we're going to go take Pala Orlin back. I just entered orbit there. I wanted to actually invade. So we'll land armies. We'll take that back. Cool. They're building out over here. That's okay. We'll let them do that. They do have this 18k fleet here. And then are these guys able to push through? That's the question here.
Enemies occupy our west.
Yeah, the Great Khan has seized gentle winds. That's to be expected. No real problem there right now. The question is, what are they going to do? If they just sit here, I'm okay with it. I think they just sit. I like it. So we're able to respond here, and we could... This target uplink computer is done here. This is now 4.5k. These guys are completely incapable of attacking us here. So no problem there. And the Schmortis, for right now, is just going to park in orbit of this wormhole. We're not going to move through it. Well, actually, they're not moving additional fleets through. They've not been trying to attack further. I think we go back to Upstoth. We don't see any fleets over here through the wormhole. So for now, this seems to be okay. We're going to backtrack. We're full on minerals, and we absolutely need to do something about that. We're at minus 151 energy credits. Sure, that is a thing. The 23rd Starfleet here is... I really do want to move it... Well, actually, we could move 2 menacing corvettes here. And 10 into the Schmortis. Unless these are already being reinforced. Which they probably are. So the 23rd is kind of going to want to be removed, like destroyed, eventually. We're going to head in over here to Aluma. And this invasion will be over instantaneously. They have no garrison there.
Planetary infestation begun.
Okay. It looks to me like they can't push through here. They're just sitting. So with that being the case, we're going to allow them to just sit on these systems for the time being. And we're not going to take Kelendine. That would be a very big mistake. We're going to move these guys back at this point and group up with their fleet compatriots over here. We've got an additional 2, and we're recruiting a few more. Sounds good. So these guys are on their way over. It will take them time. But all things considered, since all of the threat is over on this side, I think this is okay. At this point, sell minerals for power. Yeah, that is a good call. We're capped anyway, and we should do that. I was planning on using those minerals to build more menacing class, but that kind of fell through, obviously. And we would need to colonize Aluma. Actually, no, don't colonize Aluma. What am I doing? Missing offspring nest on Aluma where there's nothing. Okay, sure. That's fine. I think they uncolonized Aluma. Okay. We're going to merge these together, and we're going to attack Kalok. And the question then becomes, let's see, this war here, they're not close to a status quo piece. We would status quo piece after we take back Kalok. But this is okay for now. We have multiple fleets that are going to arrive in Upstoth shortly, and we're going to get a lot of fleet strength here. For now, we're not concerned about the Saramo United Worlds in the slightest. There's not that much that they can actually take. Oh, we still have Grassy World? Awkward. Okay, so we've established this colony in Roman Prime. I'm actually going to leave this colony, I think. Well, no, we should resettle it still. We should still resettle it, but not onto Grassy World. Maybe onto a generator world here. Like, for example, Anakin. We'll do that. Yep, there we go. So that moves over, and we've got 2 additional pops there. Cool. So we've got a bunch of reinforcements flowing in here. The Lumelius will be arriving shortly. And we'll just continue to reinforce everything that we can. We are currently lacking in a few alloys, but that's really not bad. I'm actually going to sell off some minerals here and some food. We'll sell off 10k. And we are going to buy in a few alloys. Just enough to finish our fleet construction. There we go. Move your pops from Grassy World. That is a good call. I like it. That is something we should do. We may not move all of them just to force them to invade. We may leave like one pop here, but we can move these like all to Anakin. We're going to have some food issues from this. This was a pretty major food world for us, but we'll do something like that. So obviously we need housing here and amenities. We'll build a hive district and we will build a generator district. That will get us 10 housing. I'm also going to build a hive war in here. So that should get us, let's see, that's 3 housing. We're going to need a second hive district. Okay. So we're going to have some problems on Anakin for a little bit here. We may want to... increase the stability. Yeah, for now this is okay. We're going to get this hive district done. We have a lot of overcrowding here, obviously. We probably shouldn't have moved them all to the same world, but that's okay. We've got a lot of deviancy, and we'll deploy hunter-killer drones for the time being. We'll recall them later on. Okay. So it looks like the Great Horde is not too interested in coming up and attacking us over here. I like it. We're going to go into Calic, and we've got 183 here. We're going to enter orbit, but I'm not convinced that we actually want to land here just yet. Let's see, what do they have? After the autosave? 130. This should do it. Cool. So we're going to head up there. And I would be very, very interested in status quoing this. Yes, we will absolutely implement this program. We need some time on Anakin. Yep, they took Grassy World there, so that was fantastic. We knew that they would do that. That was obviously going to be the case. Okay, they have moved back up here, the Zum have. That's fine. We are in position to deal with this right now, and we are going to move, I think, the... What's their strength? Okay. Not too bad. I think we're going to move the Pompless up there. So we're going to take them up, and we will take out the Zum cooperative fleet here. Get that eliminated. No problem there. Autonomous Ship Intellects has finished up. And we are going to take, I think... I really want to take Gateway Travel, but I also want to use those hyper relays, so maybe we'll grab Experimental Subspace Navigation. I mean, I would like to get jump drives, but for now we'll take that. Okay, and these guys are just going to land over here. Cool. And for the time being, we're just allowing all of this to happen. We've entered a bit of a holding pattern here where no one is able to really progress, and that is exactly what we want. Naval cap is really good for us. We will absolutely take that. So the Pompless is going to move in over here. These guys are potentially jumping over. They're actually just sitting.
Planetary infestation begun.
Okay, so they are just sitting there. Cool. We have invaded in Kalak. At this point, we need Mihil back, and then we're okay with white piecing this. Or rather, status quoing it. Yes, they seized Keenus Prime. I should have moved pops off of that too. But there we go. We're fine. So there's a hostile swarm up here, 18k from the Valon. We'll need to deal with that. We have taken this back. Okay, so we're going to send... Are we? Hang on. I would love to do, not this one. I would love to do a status quo with these guys. Relative Navy strength -8. Maybe after this battle. We'll see. So we eliminate this force. Of course, we want to get this battle and take this starport back before we white piece. So that'll be fine. Or status quo piece. I keep doing that. It is a status quo. Okay. We're going to head over here and grab that. These guys are on their way in. That's unsurprising. So at this point, we can see that there's no real Great Horde fleets near us. So we can move a couple of fleets out of here. We could move, say, we could keep the 23rd where they're at just to make sure that they don't move anything else in here. We could move all of the rest of these up to Jasques-Faumat. Now, we don't want to take Kelendine. That is a bad idea. The Spacecraft Mandate is eliminated by the Great Khan. Ooh, and now the Great Khan can attack this Fallen Empire. I wonder if they will. I'd be very happy if they did. We'll see if that happens. So there's that eliminated. We should remove any regular corvettes out of this fleet and put in menacing corvettes in their place. There we go, up to 30. And we can actually have a number more menacings in all of these. For now, we're going very heavily into the menacings. We're going to want to rebalance our fleets later on, that's for sure. But we're going to get that started. Okay. We're missing an offspring nest up over here. That is probably because they destroyed it. Yes, they definitely did. We'll replace the synaptic node, I think, but we don't have the minerals. We just spent them. That's okay. We can spend some volatile motes here and buy in a few more minerals. 10,000 more minerals would be great. Absolutely great right now. So we would replace this with an offspring nest. And then our second one here, we can just build an offspring nest. Cool. And then we can replenish additional fleet ships. And there we go. Okay, so we're leaving these guys here. We don't care too much about them. We're going to move the Pompless back over this way. Actually, I wouldn't mind upgrading them. As someone who's not so familiar with Stellaris, accidentally calling it white peace explains to me what status quo means in this context. It's technically not a white peace. A white peace in other Paradox games means the war just ends, and it's like the war never happened. In Stellaris, a status quo peace means every border as it exists right now, that's what the border will be in a status quo. So what that ends up meaning is if you have a claim or a CB that doesn't require claims and you occupy a system, a status quo peace will give you that system. But you have to fully occupy the system. So I wouldn't mind getting these ships upgraded, but for now it's okay. They are attacking us in Jasques-Faumat. We knew that would be happening, and we are heading up there to try to intercept them. We will arrive in the eventual times. Our fleets are rather slow, but we are powerful enough to deal with these guys. And the Horde is just going to continue hoarding. For right now, I'm okay with containing the Horde and not letting them push past Upstaf. Now, if they go and take out the Space Whale, they can push into Gindix and head up this way. That's a potential issue for us, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So all of these fleets here are heading up to deal with the Valon regime. We want to eliminate the Valon here. They are heading into Kalok. So we're going to flee with these guys. And we're going to head to Kalok ourselves. We're going to ignore Jasques-Faumat for the moment here. And I didn't necessarily want to have some of these star fleets selected, but okay. I guess it's fine. We're keeping an eye on the Horde over here. And of course, I want to check in on these guys. They're still not capable of attacking our station over here. So that's great. If we get the opportunity, we will fight them over there. And our army got out. So that's good. We are heading on over. We're going to catch these guys eventually. Eventually. It looks like they're bombarding. I'm okay with this. This seems fine. So, I'd like to tell one of these fleets to come grab Jasques-Faumat back. We don't need all of them here. Okay. We are dealing with these problems here, eventually. Our housing is definitely a lot better. We can probably recall our hunter-killer drones at this point. There we go. Cool. So we'll eliminate this fleet here. They retreated. That's fine. So we're going to grab this fleet manager here. What fleet was this? This was the Lumelius. Okay, so we're going to drop off our corvettes, and we're going to put in more menacing class corvettes. Same thing here. This is the Rolger. So the Rolger is going to drop... Actually, it didn't lose any corvettes. Okay. Well, that's fine. We're going to move these... Actually, I'm going to leave the Schmortis here for the time being. No, it's going to take them long enough to get back, I think, that we're just going to grab these guys and move them all back down here in case the Horde... Okay, the Great Khan is not happy with us. In case the Horde decides to actually attack us, which is a distinct possibility. Absolutely.
Technology conceived.
We will continue to get our fleets reinforced here. Just pump out those fleets. And I do want to check over here. Yeah, we don't have our extra shipyards here, so we need some physics research here. Gamma lasers would be really good for us. We're going to take that. That will be fine. So, are these guys willing to white peace right now? Minus 30 reasons, so no, they are not. You can see here that we're definitely winning this war. That's for sure. This war here, technically we're not winning, but there's no actual stations over, or rather any planets over here that we care about. So as long as they can't get past the Valon regime, we're ignoring this. This is completely fine. So our reinforcements are flowing in. We're going to run out of food soon enough. I do want to make sure that now that we have enough, that we get these shipyards built here. And in Pala Orlin... Oh, they've attacked over here again? Well, that's why we left the Pomplus here. So that's fine. This is actually good for us when they attack through Mihil like this. We can deal with that quickly. We're not too far off of this line, and that'll get us war score, which is what we want, or rather war exhaustion. So plasma thrusters is really good. We're going to take that, definitely. We need more speed. Incredibly important. I'm a little concerned about our economy, but there are bigger concerns right now. We're going to put in a research lab here, and on this tech world, we need housing, so a hive district is what we do. On this forge world, we could put in an industrial district, and that is very good. But we need to start pushing into the Great Horde fairly soon. I'd love to get out of this war here. I'm not convinced that these guys would open their borders if they got out of the war. They might. That is a question to be concerned about. But we don't know that. For now, we're going to move into Mihil, and once again, we're going to eliminate these guys. No problem there. We're going to move our forces down over to Upstoth. Continue to reinforce. And at this time, we are going to sell off more volatile motes and more rare crystals. And we're going to use that to buy in a few extra minerals. Minerals are getting expensive, but we're also selling minerals. So that kind of benefits us. Is there a wormhole in Mihil that they're attacking through? Yep. This wormhole right here goes to Tremus. And that's a good thing for us. I'm actually wanting them to keep doing this because every time we do this, we just wreck their fleet and they get a bunch of war exhaustion. So that's really good for us. We're going to go take back the station up here, and then after that, we'll head back. Food is a bit of a concern, but let's get all of our ships reinforced. There we go. And we're going to bring the Pomplus on back. How close are we to status quoing with these guys? Okay. Getting a lot closer. It's halfway there. Perfect. This is actually going surprisingly well. This seems fine. Do you have any friendly relations with anybody, or is the galaxy just against you now? The answer to that is, we are a hungering swarm and crisis aspirant. It is not possible to have friendly relations. We kind of made this bed, and now we have to lie in it. So all of these are going to finish up eventually. We've got a number of these destroyers and corvettes being built. We're going to want to overhaul our fleets for sure. Oh, we have more fleet command limit? We have more fleet command limit. We're going to continue pumping out the menacing corvettes right now. Honestly, I kind of, for the moment, want our fleets to largely be menacing corvettes and offspring ships. That's mostly what we're looking at here. just because menacing are better stat-wise, and they are, of course, a lot cheaper as well. So how much strength do we have here? Quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit of fleet strength in Upstoth. We're going to be able to attack these guys. Like, this is not a frightening fleet here. We can deal with that. But we're gathering our strength, and we're biding our time with this war. This is at 27 reasons right now, but it's going to continue to get better as their war exhaustion goes up just from ticking. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I think we're okay here. I think this is absolutely good. We will get through this. I agree. I think that we're going to be able to take over the Great Horde. It's going to be complicated, take some time, but I think we can do it. This aggro world here requires a job, and there's a tile blocker here. Okay, we're going to have to clear that tile blocker. I don't love it. We also could really use some housing here. Another hive warren would be good. That would help us with the amenities as well. That's not going to fix the job, but for now, that'll do what we need. It's not a complete fix, but it's okay. Subjugation CB, hilarious. They're not going to do that. This tech world requires housing. We'll put in a hive district. Our food is definitely a concern. There's no doubt about that. Losing our primary grassy food generation worlds down here, that hurts. That hurts a lot. Would you conquer back to Avexis before winning the war? Avexis is where? Let's check here. Avexis. Oh, this is the Great Horde. We're not at war with the Great Horde. They just attack us. So we can't do anything other than like bottle them up or completely defeat them. That's what we've got here. So yeah, we're going to have to take back Avexis. But we should probably push through. I was just kind of waiting for some additional reinforcements to come in here, although they're getting close to done streaming in. We can reinforce a few more. The Great Khan meets defeat in Beta Aquila. Where is Beta Aquila? Just Beta. You know what? I don't know where that is. The Great Khan met a defeat in battle, though, in Beta Aquila. So that wasn't us that they were fighting, and it wasn't this fallen empire either. Ah, there's a connection here. But there's no connection beyond that. Who are they fighting? Did they have a jump drive? Maybe a wormhole somewhere over here that we don't know about? Regardless, that is a go signal for us. Any way we slice it. We need to take these 4 and the 23rd. And we're pushing in to Piscus. Cool. We're also going to need a science chip. Let's get a science chip going because a lot of these systems are now unsurveyed, even though we had them occupied previously. I'm not sure if they're going to auto-survey or not, but we need to get a science chip out just to be on the safe side. And we're going to want to investigate a lot of tech. That's definitely a thing too. So we're going to run out of food here pretty soon. We're certainly going to want to sell off... Are we making... We are making 0. Okay, we're going to sell off 500 of that, and we're going to buy in a bunch of food with that. 5,000 food. That'll keep us going for a while. And we're pretty bad on our energy credits too. We're going to sell a few volatile motes and rare crystals, and we're going to buy in nothing. Fantastic. Also, Mihil is under attack. We should go up over there with something. I think we'll take... We don't need all of these fleets. I think we'll just take the Lumelius up there. There we go. I would like to build a starbase there, but that might actually prevent them from coming through. And we want them to come through. So we'll deal with that. Okay. So this is all good. I'm actually quite pleased with how this is going. This is going very well. Our food is dire. Our energy credits are worse. But all things considered, this is great. We're going to continue to get a bunch of war exhaustion here. That'll be fantastic. And the Great Khan is getting pushed back. We're going to need construction ships over here too. So we're going to get both of these heading on over. The science ship for now is going to need to, because all of this is surveyed. So the science ship for now is going to come up here and, well, we're not ready to have it move up here just yet. We're just going to move it here for the time being. And we'll eliminate these guys.
We sense a hostile swarm.
Ah, that's these guys again. Yeah, this is annoying. We'll send a fleet up to deal with them. I mean, this is kind of what happens when you've got a bunch of people piling on, right? This is unsurprising. These guys don't have anything that they're doing, and we're just going to get them moving over here. I'm not sure where they came from, but sure. So we're going to deal with these guys eventually. We're going to need to take back Mihil first. And then we'll send this fleet up here. I'm not too concerned about this. This isn't a huge deal. We'll be able to deal with that. And in fact, this is kind of good for us as well, because this is going to build up war exhaustion on them. And that's exactly what we want, is more war exhaustion. So we're going to continue to push in over here. Our construction ship is going to need to head to Nunki and build a starbase there once it can. Mihil might need a starbase soon. They really won't leave you alone. I'm actually happy about this. I want them to come through Mihil. That said, the Lumelius is going to be tasked with going up here, and it's going to be pretty out of range. So we may actually want to send, like, I was going to send the 23rd, but I'm not sure that that's really the one we want to send. We'll send, like, Ralger over here. And we'll just keep an eye on the Great Khan's hordes over here.
We have claimed a new nest.
Okay. So this is a 20k and a 14k. We should be able to hold here. And we'll eliminate these guys. Chameleon Field exposed. Okay, cool. That's an archaeological site. We don't really care too much about that. There's also the drone study here that we haven't done. But for now, yeah, we'll move the Lumelius. Actually, we'll just leave the Lumelius where it's at. We'll send the Ralger up over this way. I think that'll be slightly more efficient. And I think that we're just going to leave the Lumelius right here. They can come through the wormhole if they want. But there's not much they can do about it. Well, we could put them in orbit over the wormhole, I suppose. I think that they likely won't come through there. We do have enough at this point to build a starport here, so let's go ahead and do that. I think that that is a good idea at this point. The Great Khan is telling everyone that it was just a minor setback, nothing more. I'm sure that's correct. They actually have this planet on Beauty. Interesting. I didn't expect them to have a planet here. I guess we'll bring our transport fleets in over here. And we'll see. We can't land on that because it's not surveyed. This was our colony. Like, these are our pops on here. I don't know what's going on with that. But sure. So we've got a bunch of research that we need to do, right? We need to... Right, we need a leader here. That would help. We are going to get, say... Research speed doesn't actually help us, but we'll grab this guy. And we'll research these projects and come on down over this way. I'm not so sure that we're interested in researching these up here. Plasma thrusters, we're going to have that soon. And disruptors, yeah, I'm not that interested in that. Starbase limit reached, yes. We can always deal with that. I'm not too concerned about it. Plasma thrusters, okay, that's a very big deal. Durasteel armor, yes please. Next, we're going to hop into our ship designers, and we're going to give everybody plasma thrusters. Okay. In fact, I would like to get rid of this Corvette, but we can't remove the last design, sadly. Okay. All of these get plasma thrusters. Battleships are auto setup. We're not using those at this point. Once we reform our fleets, we likely will. But any of these that currently are running ion thrusters, we're going to upgrade. We're not really able... Oh, this doesn't have enough power. We could drop an afterburner here and put in like an auxiliary fire control. No. We can just leave this like this. Okay. We're not really too concerned at this point in getting all of those things built. We just need to get everything... Like, we need to stop the bleeding, right? That's the current goal. Stop the bleeding.
We sense a hostile swarm.
Okay, so this is the Valon again. We don't care about that. They're up over this way. That's fine. They can attack Ur, and they probably will. but that's fine as well. We're heading up there to deal with it, and we'll have this back under control soon enough. So it's really only these two factions here. This one's under control at this point. This will get under control. And these fleets here need to be a little bit more reinforced. I'm a little bit concerned about the Great Khan coming in here, but I think we're reasonably okay. For now. For now. We're not going to push deeper than this. This is okay for the moment. We will continue to reinforce our ships. And we're wildly over our naval cap, but that will improve eventually in time. Eventually. Full on influence, that's okay. The Lumelius, I would like to upgrade it. Where is the nearest starport? It's probably too far. Yeah, that's too far. We need to stay at the wormhole. We could move through the wormhole and take this station. Actually, that station is a shipyard. Fascinating. And they don't have a inhabited planet here. Let's go. We're going through the wormhole. We're going to take this. And we're going to be able to build out of this. That's actually much closer to this front line coming this direction than our capital. So I like it. That'll be good. And the Rolger are still heading up this way. It'll take time for them to get there. But overall, I'm reasonably content with what we've got going on here. These guys are going to move into Piscis, and I want them to just merge with the 23rd. That'll be okay. Food and energy are problems, but those are problems that we can solve at a later date. Right now, we've got other issues. Okay. If we have to back off here, we can. But this is absolutely going okay. I think we're fine. So I'm not planning to push beyond Tremus here, but now that we have this starbase, this is not a shipyard. Now that we have this here, we're going to convert it to a shipyard. Maybe only like half of it. And leave the other half for defensive. Alternatively, we could just leave it as is. 6.9k. We would definitely want to put in an offspring outlook here.
Our construction is complete.
But that would stop them from coming through here and free up this fleet, which would then be able to come back over to Piscis. And I do want to check in here. This is the Lumelius. We're good on the corvettes. Okay, sounds good. Cool. So this seems fine. Once the offspring outlook here comes in, these guys are not capable of attacking us anymore. So that frees up a fleet. And what are they thinking right now for the status quo? Minus 25? Okay, once we take back a bunch of this territory up here, they will not be too far away, I think. I think we've got this reasonably under control. So I want to come in over here. We can land the armies on Beauty. Cool. So we will definitely do that. That will allow us to rebuild our starbase in Piscis, which is fantastic. We're not going to have to use a construction ship for that.
Technology conceived.
Who are these guys? Oh, caravans. Well, they're probably going to get destroyed by the Great Horde, I think. Gamma lasers are now done. And let's go for 0-point reactors, since we are having some power issues. I do want to go through and update these guys, but I think we are constructing. Yeah, just destroyers. So for right now, we are going to put in gamma lasers. Liberation of Beauty. Fantastic. Okay, so gamma lasers are on these corvettes. These destroyers are currently being built, and we will come back to that. Cruisers, we will put in gamma lasers. Does not have enough power. Yeah, it wouldn't. So we can drop off. That's a little rough. We can go to plasteel armor here and then put in the afterburners again, just to get more speed. That'll work. It's not ideal. We will revisit that one. And what I really want, though, is the menacing corvettes. I want to upgrade this to gamma lasers, and I'm going to go to 2 gamma lasers and 1 small railgun. Okay. There we go. We'll call that good for now. And okay, so they have a 30k fleet here. plus another 10k. Are they coming at us? Wait, the 30k fleet is not. Huh. They're just kind of running around. Okay, we're missing an offspring nest on Beauty, and we absolutely rebuild that. That is 100% something that we do, and we continue to reinforce. We are fighting in Josk Fomat, and this is not going to be a problem. Okay, I want to eliminate this fleet here. We're going to go after that next. There is the 4th Star Order in Kalak, which we will go after in a moment. But we're going to catch these guys here. There's a Pulsar here, so we have no shields. So that's fine. Actually, we should... I was going to cancel this. We should just downgrade this, honestly. Since we control the other side, we have no reason to have a starbase here. This starbase over here does the trick. They are currently attacking us, and I feel like they lose this. I really do. Oh yeah, they definitely lose this. So they're just going to expend a lot of war exhaustion on attacking that starbase, and I'm very happy with that. These guys are going to head down to Kalak and chase down this fleet. We will be there pretty quickly, actually. We're very close to the jump point. That's on Beauty, no problem there. Okay, there is a lot of Great Khan forces assembled here, and I think I just saw them start coming towards us. Yes. Okay, so overall strength. Call it 65k. We're fighting a construction ship right now, which is very awkward. Finish that up, and we're going to back off. We're going to back off over here and allow the Lumelius to come in and join us. We've got a few more reinforcements on the way as well. I just don't want to give battle to that fleet at this exact moment. I want to see if they're going to make some positional errors first. So we finish up here, and we are going to next head up to attack the 1st Star Order. So we're going to chase those guys down. That'll be fine. They're definitely not attacking. Okay, we're still going to back off here. Piscus will be fine for the moment. And we're just going to sit in Avexis. Just a little bit back so that we can keep an eye on what they're doing. We did finish up some research in Mihil, and I did not mean to click on that. We're going to continue working on that. Cool. So we'll need to take back all of this, and we may as well grab these up here that they had as well while we're up here. We're going to eliminate this fleet, I think. It's actually closer than I thought it was. We don't have a leader here. I should have put one in before this fleet fight happened. But we're doing okay here, I think. It's fairly even. I want to check in on the status of Tremus here. Looks fine. No problem whatsoever there. And all of these guys, I want to actually go back to Avexis. They should not be where they are. Back to Avexis, not Vilf. Cool. So does this fleet win? We do. We do beat them. That's great. That's our better tech coming through there. So we need to reinforce this fleet, and we need to drop off our number of corvettes and bring up our number of menacing corvettes. We'll reinforce all of that for now. And we are going to grab these star bases. So for now, I'd like to make our way up here and clean up all of this. And then we'll turn around and come back. There is this 5th Star Order here, which is potentially problematic for that plan. We're going to grab our research and mining stations up here. We're going to need to deal with our energy credit situation. So let's sell off some volatile motes and some rare crystals. That'll work for now. Okay. So they did attack Piscus. This is unsurprising. Let's see what they do after. What's their plan? And what's our overall fleet strength here? Are we strong enough? Maybe. We've got about, let's see, 43, call it 50, call it 60k here. It's broadly similar. We might be able to pull this off with some buffs. Okay, let's hop into our edicts here. We are currently running Fortify the Border. And that is fairly necessary, but we're going to need to temporarily run some of these buffs over here. We're going to wait for them to jump in.
We have assimilated knowledge.
Cool, we assimilated knowledge. Sounds good. This fleet needs to make its way over to here. Get over here right now. We're keeping an eye on them. I want to check up over here. Okay, I'm going to send these after the 5th Star Order here, just for now. This is much more important here, so we're going to take a look at the Great Horde. We know that they have shields. Let's take a look in here. Mostly hull. Minor shields, minor armor. Interesting. Very interesting. What about... that was just that one battleship. So what about, say, this one? What are their cruisers running? Even mix between shields and armor. Okay. And this 31k fleet, this is the real threat, this fleet here. And it's got a little heavy on the armor. Okay. So they're almost certainly on the way in, right? That's almost certainly happening here. We've got these 3 fleets. And do we have enough to deal with this? The answer is a definite maybe. We are going to grab ourselves exotic gases for shield boost. We're going to grab volatile ammunition. We're going to grab volatile reactive armor. We are going to grab focusing crystals for the time being. That buffs us up dramatically. Did I miss any? I don't believe so. But capacity subsidies might not be a bad idea right now. And I wouldn't mind farming subsidies as well. That's going to put us probably negative on the Unity. We'll keep an eye on that. But for now... that looks good. Exotic gases as fuel is not necessary for this fight. I don't believe we're running any explosive weapons. No, we are not. Okay. So this buffs us up pretty dramatically. This is around... let's see. We've got 26k. Let me pull up a calculator here. 2.1 plus 26.2 plus 17.6 plus 22.1. That's 68. That is very close. What are they at? They're at 93.45 plus 18.4. Or actually, I'll type it out. 18,486 plus 31,325 plus 55,83 plus 27,91. They're at 67,530. This is incredibly close. We're going to jump a leader in here. We're going to jump a leader into all of these. We're going to recruit a new one, and this would be ship weapons range. It's not great, but this fleet is not great either, so that's fine. Well, this is pretty much it. We'll see if we win this. If we're able to defeat this fleet quickly, or rather this ship quickly, we might be fine. 1, 6, 12, 18. So most of their fleet power is in their battleships. It kind of depends on how we roll on evasions. That's basically what this boils down to. So we do have gale speed on this guy. That gives us plus 5% evasion. And this guy has weapons range, which isn't great. Evasion here as well. And evasion here as well. So all that sublight speed and all that extra evasion is going to help us a lot. This all comes down to how we roll. We are closer in ship move in. This is true. We should. In we go. We're going to close in here. And they are going. They are going. We are in position, and we are hitting them. Okay. This is going to do a lot of damage to both sides, but let's see who wins. Keep in mind, this is not our highest tech. Most of these ships are on older tech. I feel like we're winning this. We're winning this. We're definitely winning. Fantastic. Now they've just got their 2 big ships left. That was huge. We didn't even take that big of losses. If we look at the actual losses here, these are our losses. Yeah, it hurts a little bit, but it's mostly menacing class corvettes. And they lost a lot more. That's amazing. That worked very, very well. We are going to fall back for the moment, I think. Well, actually, Piscus is here. I'm thinking about repairs. I'm thinking about upgrading. I'm thinking about making Piscus into a starport. So that'll be fine. We're going to get that going. That went very well. We need to turn off our edicts for right now. We cannot afford to have these continually going. And we're going to need to go into our edicts here. And I would like to turn off Fortify the Border. That's going to put us over our starbase cap, but I think that's okay. So in we go. And we're going to need to go through these fleets and remove any regular corvettes that we lost. We should have lost a number of them. Actually, not that many. And we'll replace those with menacing class corvettes. That was really not bad. That was really, really not bad. Okay. So that's great. We got a big victory there. Now we're going to continue to hold here for the moment. We could push ahead. In fact, we could start cleaning up some of this over here, but I'm a little bit loath to do that right now because we don't really have constructions ready to go for that. So we're going to research projects in Nunki and in Vilth and especially in Avexis and Piscus. Antimatter missiles, regenerative hull tissues. Yeah, that would all be great. Now, we are negative on our Unity still. I expected to not be negative on our Unity because I dropped the Fortify the Border. I think we're going to have to choose between capacity and farming subsidies. Yeah, we're going to have to choose. I'm going to go for capacity here. We can always buy food. So we're going to re-up Fortify the Border. And we're going to downgrade capacity subsidies. And that puts us positive in Unity. Good. We're negative in food, but we can buy food with these energy credits. And because we're so positive in energy credits, we're going to cancel our sell order here. I want to check in on our exotic gas situation. We don't need to buy these exotic gases anymore. And we can buy in an extra 150 food. So call that like, we'll go to 200 for now. It won't be all of it, but we'll get started with that. So we can see that they have some ships over here. We're going to hold off at Piscus for the moment. So we upgrade this. And the Rulger Starfleet needs to make its way up over this way, take back all of this territory. Now, how do we want to do this? I think the path that we want to follow would be something kind of like, well, we can just go up to here and then come up this way and then come this way, and we end up with 2 extra systems up here. And then we take back Jasque Fomat. Now, they do have a small fleet here. But for now, that's okay. Checking in on Tremus, that looks fine.
Our construction is complete.
These guys are not quite willing to status quo yet. They'll get there. We'll build a starbase in Vilth. Cool. The Ceramo are pushing into the Horde over this direction. Okay, so we're going to have to fight the Ceramo eventually. We already know that. They are considered superior to us, but, I mean, I feel like we can win that, regardless. We're negative on energy credits now. I didn't expect that with 200 food. But okay, I guess we're negative on energy credits. Let's check in on our job situation. It's been a bit. This agri-world. We could put in a hydroponics farm here. We should also probably consider putting in a hive district for the purpose of generating amenities. So that'll do there. What else do we have? Is that it? I believe that's it. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. The Lycian League has a golden fleet here in Umzara. They are not fighting? Okay, what's going on here? Why are you not fighting the Great Khan? Okay, I'm not sure what these guys are up to, but they're not fighting the Great Khan. The Great Khan is making his way over to Piscus. This is fine. We're going to have our starport done here very soon. Hey, free warriors. They look delicious.
Conceived.
They are offering us some mercenaries that we don't currently need. I do want to continue to reinforce our fleets here, and so we shall. Durasteel armor has finished up. That is a very good thing too. Catalytic drone output would be good. And I think that's what we'll go for here. So let's get our ships upgraded. That will be all of these guys going to level 4 Durasteel armor. That is a big deal for us. That will increase our durability dramatically. A ship with that design is currently being built. Of course it is. We'll take all of these up. Oh, and we don't have antimatter reactors yet. Actually, I'm going to hold off on getting that done. We're building a bunch of ships. We have a bunch of things that we can work on. So that's fine. Oh, that's the Saramo. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That's the Saramo there. If the Saramo are fighting there, we should move these fleets in and attack them while they're fighting this station. That'll be good for us. The starport will finish up very soon. And what are we going to put in here? We are going to put in at least one shipyard.
Our construction is complete.
And we're also going to put in an offspring outlook. Just to get that huge buff in this region. Okay. There we go. We have completed some research up over here. And in we go. I want to attack these guys over here. And these guys are going to be kind of awkward, but we're not going to have a problem dealing with them. Okay. So we'll eliminate this force here. No problem. Cool. Now we're going to come in and eliminate this force. We're full on influence. That's fine for the moment. I want to come up over here, check in on jobs real quick. All looks good. What's the Rolger up to? Okay, these guys are moving out over this way. I'm going to keep the Rolger up here. That's a bunch of Saramo ships there. Okay, we're going to have to back off here. There we go. So we're going to back these guys off over to Piscus. We're going to run away from the Saramo ships for the moment. Okay. So we're going to continue grabbing all of this up here. We're going to allow these guys to do what they're doing. For now, they can't really get past Craxima. So that's okay. All looks good there. We're backing off to Piscus, where we have more strength. And the Saramo are actually heading up over here. Or they're splitting up, actually. That's interesting. I don't know why they're choosing to do that. That's a strange choice, if you ask me. But okay. I guess that's what they want to do. So we're going to repair here and reinforce. And we're going to attempt to get this offspring outlook done before they attack us. But we can defeat this fleet. That is okay. We can defeat this fleet. They've got 52 corvettes. There's our naval cap coming up, so that'll help our energy credit situation a bit. I would like to grab ecological adaptation at this time. Okay. Given those options, that'll be the one we go with. We continue to build up our ships here, and this shipyard will finish up in 25 more days. Are they attacking us? They are not. Good. This is good. So the Valon are currently over here. This is occupied by the Zum. Did they flip that over? I guess they flipped that over. Very awkward. So at this point, we should move one of our fleets up, and I'm going to use the Schmortis here, and we're going to send them up to go attack Craxima. We're going to also reinforce this fleet as much as we can. Okay. All good. They're heading back up this way. So we're going to continue finishing up this area with the Rolger. And I was expecting this Starhold to be a little further along than this, but here we are. We'll have no problem taking this over. 5.2k. And we'll have that eliminated very shortly. In theory. In theory. There we go. And we're going to head over this direction. We're going to grab all of these over here. Now, this is finished over here. I want to start working on upgrading the 23rd Starfleet with the menacing corvettes. So let's make sure our menacing corvettes are at our peak of tech right now. So we need Durasteel armor. And Afterburners 1. Yes, this is all good. We'll save that. And we will start upgrading our 23rd Starfleet. There we go. And we also want to upgrade these others. All of our ships are not necessarily at the peak of tech, but that's fine. Once you get that eco-tech, you should be able to restore the world where you have low habitability on. Yeah, there's several of those, actually, that we want to restore. That's one of the reasons why I chose that one. So we have a bunch of upgrades happening here. The 23rd is actually already done. That's kind of huge. Lycian League, huh? Okay. Well, there's awkwardness ensuing over here, that's for sure. I'd love it if the Great Horde would, you know, actually come up over this way and do something about these guys. That'd be nice. It doesn't seem like they're very interested.
Enemy war drones invade our nest.
Okay, where's that? No, seriously, where's that? It's on Round Nut? Oh, okay. The Saramo are doing that. I guess that's fine for now. We're going to need to eliminate these up here. That will not take too much longer. And we've got another fleet heading up over this way to deal with this problem.
Enemies occupy our nest.
Cool. Okay, so that's currently occupied by the Horde. We don't actually mind if the United Worlds gets a border with us over here, because that's a very controllable border. So that's okay. We do mind if they get a border up here. We still don't want Kellendine. So they have a 16k fleet in Olbers. We are going to be able to deal with that with the Schmortis once the Schmortis, you know, gets reinforced a bit. Which we are continuing to work on doing. We need alloys. We need minerals. We've actually got enough minerals, but that's fine. You lost Craxma. Yeah, we're going in right now. We're grabbing it. This is absolutely fine. So it looks like the galaxy as a whole is going after the Great Khan. And that's not necessarily great for us, but it's okay. That does mean we're not going to get all of this territory. Yet. Emphasis on the yet. So Craxima has fallen, and that will come back to us now. We're going to Pala Orlin. And we would like to attack over here, but we can't get there just yet. Roxolana has fallen. We'll go to Gitana. And they're taking back some territory over here. We'll turn around and fight them eventually. Well, the Roger is not actually that strong at this time, so we probably can't. We could try, but it'll be a little awkward. We can back off on our food buy order a little bit, and not that much. Back to, like, 140. That will help out our energy credit situation a lot. Cool. So the Saramo are just kind of chilling over here right now. We got Vilf back, and we're going to keep heading over this way. It looks like the Great Khan is falling. And all it took was us doing the death blow there. I feel like that's definitely what happened. Gitana will be done very shortly.
Technology conceived.
There we go. What do they have here? Do they have any star bases up this way? Or rather, any shipyards up this way? No, is the answer. Okay. Well, these are at what strength? 4.3k? That's not too bad. We can head back to Roxolana, and we'll see what these guys end up doing. We are bringing this fleet up, and we're going to have to go to Nusakan next and try to kick them out of these regions. But that's okay. Once we get all of this back, we're completely willing to white piece these guys.
Enemy war drones invade our nest.
Yeah, we're not surprised that they're invading here. Are they going to succeed? Probably. Not here. They're invading in Kalak. Actually, no, they're not going to succeed that. However, they have other fleets, other transport fleets on the way over there. So they eventually will. We're going to head in over here, eliminate this naval fleet. We do need a physics research, and that is going to be... I would like to go for ion disruptors, I feel like. But improved reactor boosters really good too. We'll grab improved reactor boosters for the moment. And we'll eliminate these guys. No problem there. Then we're going to head up over to Kalak. I'm assuming that they've already invaded here. Yes, they're going to succeed that. That's fine. We're going to come up here. Oh, that's an exciting place to go. We're going to come up here and, let's see, it's 1681. For the time being, we're going to continue to reinforce this fleet. Actually. Okay, those are all destroyers. I was going to say, we're lacking corvettes here, and we want a menacing corvette there instead. So we're well over our starbase cap, and we should probably drop the starbase at Kraxima right now. Actually, that's a shipyard. Maybe not that one. We should drop one of these. Polaris? Yes. We don't need Polaris. We don't need Lemsa. Those two go away, and that puts us at 20 out of 19, which is a lot better. Isval isn't really needed either, but that's a shipyard. We're going to need to reevaluate our shipyards. Ah, they've actually come up here and are going to attack this space amoeba. Okay, sounds good. Liberation of Canis Prime. Oh, okay. Somebody liberated that for us? That's exciting. Hey, what's up? Well, we are currently being attacked by basically the entire galaxy. Everybody hates us, and we are... Actually, I was going to say struggling to survive, but we're kind of thriving in this environment. Kind of. We've got our economy fixed. We're going to eliminate their army here. We need to take back this planet, but we also need to go to Jaskvomat. We're going to head into Kalak and land here. What is the actual strength there? The strength is 0, so that's fine. Now, they're here in Diem, and they're walking away, or flying away, rather. We should probably have our starfleets meet up a bit. That would be useful. And the Great Khan is down over this way, but it's really not the Great Khan that we're worried about anymore. Over here is now Saramo that we're worried about over here. I wouldn't really be willing to white piece the Saramo system here, or the Saramo War. They would be willing to white piece this right now, but I'm not really willing to white piece that one. Okay, if they're heading southward with this fleet, then we're going to grab the D471 Singularity. I wouldn't mind taking care of this Star Order. Actually, they're on the way to Jaskvomat right now. You only entered orbit with the army. Is that true? That's probably true. Let's go fix that. Land armies. There we go. That'll help. Cool. So I want to eliminate this force, and then we'll just immediately turn back around. Ah, they've moved into the Singularity here. This, I didn't expect them to do, and this is a problem for us. We're probably going to have to retreat this Starfleet. That's okay. This Starfleet does need to be reinforced. But let's see how this plays out. I don't expect to win this. We can't do an emergency jump, so it just is what it is. And at this point, we are going to grab... I think that we're going to grab advanced reactor boosters. That's okay. So this is going to retreat as soon as it can. And when will it be back? It was definitely a misstep. When will that be back? That will be back eventually. Did it just get completely wiped out and not retreat? I believe it did. Okay. Well, we'll have to work on that. Yeah, we've got these guys here. So we can have... These are Cleganator classes. Yeah, it completely was wiped out, I think. Okay. Well, that's fine. These guys are going to come back over this direction. It was definitely a misstep on my part. Absolutely. So we will reinforce this fleet, but I want to check in. Drop that down to 8 corvettes and 54 menacing class. We're going to need to rebalance all of this, but what we really need is to get into peace. That's what we really need here. It's been a very long time. A very, very long time of pure war. So we have our offspring outlook here. That's all we can do for now. This strength is fine. This strength is more than enough. So that's good. Now, we've got essentially 3 fleets here at this point. So the Lumelius is here. And we've got an offspring cruiser, offspring destroyer, offspring corvette. I honestly wish that the offspring was just like one class of ship. I feel like that would make things a little simpler. But it's okay. Are the Saramo planning to attack us? I do not believe that they are. So that is fine. Honestly, I don't think there's too much of a problem here. We're going to lose some progress over here, but... Oh, wow. They took a huge hit here. Okay. That's actually a big deal. That's a very big deal. So I'm going to grab these guys here, and we're going to... The Gabellius? Actually, this is kind of perfect. We're not going to have any regular corvettes here, but we're going to have 60 menacing corvettes. In fact, we could go to 62 for now. That'll work. And the Globellius can get started. I'm noticing that it's not wanting to make the menacing class cruisers. Or the menacing class corvettes, rather. I'm not sure why it's not wanting to do that. We've got the resources. If we come over here, it doesn't want to make the menacing class. Just the Kleganators. Huh. I don't know, that's weird. We're going to head up over this way. These guys took a huge hit here, and that'll be great. The Great Khan has died. Okay, so we need to get ourselves an offspring nest here. There we go. And we need to take back this territory now. And then we're content with status quoing one of these wars. Yeah, they've invaded over here. That's not shocking. Okay, so we will push our way up. And why doesn't this want to make the menacing class? I don't get it. Why can't we make them here? We already handled that offspring nest, so that's fine. Okay. Very strange.
Technology conceived.
Well, that's ecological adaptation finished up, and we are going to grab, I think... None of these are really amazing. I guess we'll grab leader lifespan. It'll do. So we're going to hit this base here, and I'm hoping that these guys come down over to Screeching Abyss and we can fight them there. That would be pretty cool, but it doesn't look like they are planning to do that. Okay. Sounds good. But we don't have too much more that we need up here. That'll be done fairly soon. We're currently capped on minerals. I really wish that we could build these menacing class corvettes here. Like, they're right here. This is a Gobellius Starfleet. Why can't I build these? I'm so confused. We need 18,000 minerals. We have most of those. We can drop this Corvette and put in a menacing class here. Cannot afford to reinforce fleet. Oh, you know what it is? We probably are lacking in a rare material. Not that I know of. What are the cost of those? The menacing Corvette. Just minerals. I'm very confused. Why can we not build these? Huh. Is there something going wrong with our crisis? We're crisis level 2. I don't know. That's strange. That's very strange. Start saving your world's habitability. Yeah, we probably should terraform now that we have ecological adaptation done, specifically this world. This would be the best world to terraform, so we will go ahead and do so over to a tropical world, and that's a big, big deal for us once that finishes. We can also get ourselves a generator district here, and I wouldn't mind getting this agro world a little bit more operational, but we don't have a pop there, so that's going to take a little bit of time to come online. We're going to head up to Screeching Abyss, and then into Impen. And I'm wondering if they're going to attack Katana. Looks like they are. I mean, they're going to be able to take it, but they'll take some damage there. Not as much as Guher, but they'll take a little. Okay. So that's absolutely fine. We're not concerned about that right now. Things appear to be in a pretty solid holding pattern for us. The Ceramo are a concern, but I really wish that we could build the menacing corvettes over here. I have no idea why the Globelius isn't letting us build menacing corvettes. If we go into the shipyard, maybe it'll say. We can build them. Like, I can queue them up. I don't know. That's strange. That is very strange. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here is we'll go until the next autosave, which should be in April. Okay, the Ceramo are pushing in over here. That's to be expected. This isn't our territory anymore. We will take it back, but for now, it's good. I think what we're going to do is we're going to push to the next autosave, and then I'm going to try restarting the game and see if this fixes. Because it is about time to take a break, so I think that's what we're going to do here in a moment. So that's the autosave there. So what we're going to do is we're going to restart this game, exit to desktop. There we go. We just saved, and I'm going to start it back up here and see if that fixes it. But while that's happening, I'm going to go on break here, and I will be back in just a bit.